And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you. Aquaba, welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Rasta Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginaBlack.com. My name is Kidi Owadu, aka the Conscious Rasta. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you, and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Wednesday, the 24th day of September, the year 2025 in the Western calendar, the Gregorian calendar. This corresponds to the year 6266 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family. You have found your family in a peaceful place on LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginaBlack.com. It's a whirlwind around here. I'm a busy brother and I do busy brother things before I come on the air today. As every day, we are live and direct with LIB Radio. I think you're going to like our program that we have up for you for today. Today, we delve into the existence of African secret societies. That's true. Today, we look deeply, take a deep dive into the existence of African secret societies. While so much is said about various European and American secretive groups, little is known or spoken about the existence of such groups before the enslavement of African peoples by the Arabs and Euros. Why did these secret societies form? And what power mysteries are they protecting? Not all of these groups are benevolent. You will know so much more about African secret societies after today's in-depth investigation. You will know so much more than what you knew before as you take this investigation along with me. So that is what is on the table. Secret societies in Africa. I pulled up 9 of these secret societies. There are more of them. A couple of them that did come up in the research, I actually excluded them from today's conversation because they were either irrelevant or in one case there was a doomsday cult, and to me that more resembles Western Christianity than it does indigenous African traditions, African spirituality, and African self-interest. So let's take a look at these African secret societies. Before I do so, I'm going to show you a short piece of video that I got today. The video's okay. It's not real impressive, but it does give you and I an idea about some of the things that Africans do concern themselves with. So let me play this short piece of video. It's just about a minute long, and then we're going to go deeply into our investigation for today. Be right with you. Here's the video.
You won't believe what happened in a small town called Banjul, Gambia, in the 19th century. A secret society known as the Abakua thrived there, shrouded in mystery and ruled by tradition. These men banded together, not just for camaraderie, but to protect their roots and heritage from colonial powers. Their rituals were steeped in ancient knowledge, handed down through generations, often drawing on African spirituality. But here's where it gets intriguing. They had a strict code of silence, with profound consequences for those who spoke out. Imagine living under such secrecy amidst an oppressive regime. Yet through their resilience, they preserved vibrant culture that remained hidden for decades. Today, their legacy shapes modern Gambian identity and pride. These stories remind us how history is brimming with hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Let's celebrate these narratives that highlight courage against adversity and the richness of diverse culture.
Now, first of all, I want to correct part of that because I don't think that the video at all told the story of the Abakwa. Abakwa, not the Abakua, the Abakwa. I'm not a big fan. I think you all know this by now. I'm not a big fan of these AI videos that are showing up all across the African self-interest landscape, Pan-African. I'm not impressed. And that one gave us an idea of why I am not impressed. Let me take the time to tell the story of the Abakwa. The Abakwa is an Afro-Cuban men's secret society related to the Ekpe. Now, the Ekpe is again going to take us to another indigenous African group, probably the one that was described in the video. The group is a mutual aid society known for elaborate street dances and very high expectations of the members to prioritize the group over their own families. The Abakwa has managed to stay mostly hidden for more than 100 years. So this was long before they came to Cuba. The Abakwa Society is a secret, all-male mutual aid organization established in Cuba in the 1830s by enslaved Africans from the Cross River Basin region of southeastern Nigeria and southwestern Cameroon. It originated from the, quote, leopard societies, the Ingbe, Negbe, and Ekpe of the Akpa, the Kwa, Efut, and Efik peoples, whose spiritual and social systems emphasize hierarchy, secrecy, and ancestral veneration. The name Abakwa likely derives from Ibakwa, meaning house of the spirits in the Efik language, or from the Nigerian town Abakpa. Enslaved Africans brought to Cuba formed ethnic backgrounds called cabildos, which preserved cultural practices and languages. Within these, titled members of the original Ekpe societies founded the Abakwa, consecrating sacred objects, fundamentos, and establishing a spiritual society on Cuban soil. The society functions as a separate state with its own laws and language, centered around devotion to Ekwe, the sacred drum symbolizing the leopard spirit. Abakwa beliefs center on ancestral worship, spiritual regeneration, and the invocation of divine forces through ritual speech and music. The Ireme, a masked spirit dancer, embodies ancestral power and participates in ceremonies as a non-speaking, non-seeing entity communicated with through dance. Initiation rites are highly secretive and involve strict codes of loyalty, mutual aid, and protection of members. The society is ordered into lineages, Efi, Efo, Oru, linked to Nigerian ethnic groups and governed by councils of elders. Historically, Abakwa resisted colonial authority and participated in anti-colonial movements like the 1812 Aponte conspiracy. Though once persecuted and associated with criminality, it is now recognized as part of Cuba's cultural heritage. Its influence extends to Cuban music, dance, palo, and art, notably in the works of Wilfredo Lam and Belkis Ayon. So I told the story of Abakwa, and YouTube told the story, AI, of the Abakwa. My question to you, Basu Nefert Ra Seshat, whose story is more credible and more in-depth? There are other videos, no doubt, on the Abakwa, Abakua, and I do encourage all of our members to learn more about this Nigerian-based and Cuban-based secret society. So the Abakwa, let me just post a little bit of this up so that those of you in our listening audience can have access to it too. Let's keep going. We've got a lot more of these 9 secret societies up for today's lesson. And part of the article, I must say, part of the article comes from Business Insider that posted an article entitled, "Here are 8 prominent cults and secret societies in Africa." And I'm going to post this link up from Business Insider so those of you in our listening audience can have access to it as well. And before I do that, I should have done this. One second. I should have posted that last link that I put up. I should have posted it on my Facebook page. It is a little bit lengthy, so you can have access to it. So bear with me. Paste this, go to the head, create a little space. Here is the second article that we're sharing with you today. Here are 8 prominent cults and secret societies in Africa, written by David Nganga. And I'm going to paste his name up on here. And it didn't capitalize his name. David Nganga. So I'm going to post that one up. Bear with me. This is very important. I want to make a permanent historical record of what it is that we are doing today here on LIB Radio. So you can bear with me. I'm sure you can. I do see Troy Curtis has joined us in the house. Pleasure to have you with us, dear brother. And I also cut and paste the following. I pasted it onto my YouTube page, and I don't have access to it, so let's just keep going. Again, I'm going to get to that Business Insider article in a little bit. It does form quite a bit of the basis of today's discussion. Next, we've heard of the Dogon. The Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, are noted for their rich cosmology and complex social structures, including secret societies that play pivotal roles in spiritual and communal life. Among these various secret societies, the Awa Society stands out as one of the most influential and enigmatic. The Awa. The purpose and the role of the Awa Society is primarily responsible for conducting rituals related to death and the afterlife. It serves as a guardian of Dogon esoteric knowledge, preserving oral traditions, cosmological teachings, and sacred symbolism. Members are initiated into the Awa Society through elaborate ceremonies and are entrusted with the spiritual well-being of the community. Masks and rituals play a very important part of the societies of the Awa Society. The Awa Society's most visible expression is the masked dance ceremony, especially during the Dama, a ritual held to honor the deceased and ensure their safe passage to the spiritual realm. The masks, each representing a different spiritual entity or aspect of Dogon cosmology, are worn by initiated members and are believed to channel ancestral spirits. These performances are not merely theatrical, they are sacred acts of communication between the living and the dead. We can talk about the cosmological knowledge. In fact, most of the conversations about the Dogon are limited to their cosmological knowledge. The Awa Society is also a repository of the Dogon's famed astronomical lore, including their knowledge of the Sirius star system. This includes awareness of Sirius B, a white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye, which the Dogon described with remarkable accuracy. Such knowledge has led to speculation about ancient contact with advanced civilizations. Those scholars debate whether this insight was influenced by modern sources. Secrecy and initiation. Membership is exclusive and hierarchical, with knowledge revealed progressively through initiation stages. The society's teachings are kept secret from outsiders and even from non-initiated Dogon, reinforcing its mystique and authority. Dogon secret societies, especially the Awa, embody a profound synthesis of spiritual, astronomy, and cultural identities. And there is a book that was published on this subject. I'm going to go look for that book. Amazon. Let's go there because they're convenient. And we're going to look for a book called The Pale Fox. The Pale Fox, written by M. Grayul and G. Dieterland, The Pale Fox. Let me just real briefly describe what they say about the pale fox. And there is no description here. And I want a description of the book. And the book is not cheap. The book has been out for some time. The book is $52.18 on Amazon.com, which to me indicates that Amazon does not necessarily want you and I to have access to that book, or someone out there. It could be a number of different things. It could be just out of print. This is a reprint from the Broadly Press. There's all formats and editions. I see a paperback used from $30.28. Amazon has it new from $29.28. And there's a number of copies up here. The most expensive one of which is used, $123.98. So if you have the book, The Pale Fox, you have something pretty good that you can read, and hopefully that you will teach. So I'm going to do this. Yeah, the least expensive copy on it looks it's temporarily out of stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this for those of you who want to have access to it. This is the book called The Pale Fox, and it is dealing with Dogon spirituality. So bear with me. The Pale Fox is, I put it up on my Facebook site. Let me put it up in the second link on my Facebook. And I'm going to put it up here also for my my Rumble listeners as well. So first of all, I have to pull up the Rumble page, 9 most mysterious secret societies from Africa. So there is, it's my page. I do see 4 Africa. 1 has joined us on Rumble. Hotep Brother Keedy and Global Family, looking forward to this interesting topic. Yeah, I think today's topic is absolutely fantastic. So on that note, let's just keep going. Next up on my list, the Awa of Mali. I read them the Ekpe secret society. Now, we did mention the Ekpe secret society when we talked about the Abakwa. The Ekpe is a secret society that lives mostly in Nigeria and whose members are typically law enforcers and politicians. They are well-respected agents of wealth distribution in the community. It is a male-only society, and members are bound by secrecy. The society is somewhat akin to a Freemason group and does some unofficial law enforcement. Residents in Ekpe villages often go to the group to help them seek justice when they have been wronged. The Ekpe is a long-established West African society, often translated as, quote, leopard, unquote, leopard society, that originated among the Ejagam, or Ekoi, and spread across southeastern Nigeria and southwestern Cameroon. It developed as a hierarchical male initiation fraternity whose members regulate social order, adjudicate disputes, and perform important civic and spiritual functions in towns and regional trade networks. Let's talk about the structure and authority of the Ekpe. Membership is graded, with each rank requiring initiation rites, fees, and oaths. Higher ranks confer political influence and economical privileges. At its apex sit elite title holders who control communal wealth and adjudicative power, using Ekpe assemblies and symbols to issue binding decisions, enforce fines, impose boycotts, or authorize punishments. Ekpe lodges operate as quasi-courts and municipal regulators, and membership historically advantaged traders and chiefs in commercial and legal affairs. Ritual, masking, and secrecy. Ekpe's public fare is its masquerade. Masked performers embody forest spirits and the society's authority. Masks, regalia, drums, and the blowing of horns mark Ekpe days and sanctions, while secrecy is maintained through initiation, oaths, and a restricted visual verbal script called nsibidi. Non-members, women and children, are traditionally excluded from core rites, and society's mystique is reinforced by strict prohibitions against revealing sacred meanings. Cultural reach and legacy. Ekpe shaped music, art, political organization, and written symbol practice across ethnic boundaries. Its Nsibidi symbols serve both sacred and secular messaging and help transmit Ekpe influence along trade routes. Variants of Ekpe and its practices survive today in ceremonial roles and in diaspora traditions such as the Abakwa in Cuba, demonstrating the society's enduring cultural imprint. Let's go forward. I hope you find this to be fascinating. I love it, love it, love it. I love doing today's research. The Ogboni. The Ogboni is a fraternity indigenous to Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. And wait 1 second, I'm going to do this. I want you to tell me more about the Ogboni secret society in 300 words. So bear with me. I'm looking up this, a little bit more information on this one. A couple of these I just did not have time to go so deep into today. The Ogboni is a fraternity indigenous to Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. To be a member, one must be a part of Yoruba nobility. The Ogboni fraternity is said to have a strong affiliation to royalty, gerontological system of governance, and the law enforcement of the community. Internal details about the membership and brotherhood demands of this ancient group is supposedly a top secret known only to the members. The Ogboni Society, a traditional Yoruba institution with deep political, religious, and judicial significance across Nigeria, Benin, and Togo, often referred to as a secret societies. Ogbono members themselves prefer the term lodge, likening their structure to the fraternal organizations such as the Freemasons. One second here. Okay, we continue. The Ogboni Society, I read that. Historically, Ogboni emerged before 1884 and played a pivotal role in governance and spiritual life. They were revered as the intermediaries between the divine and the earthly realm, particularly venerating the earth goddess Ife, symbolizing unity and justice. In many Yoruba communities, Ogboni served as the highest court of appeal, especially in capital offenses, and wielded significant influence over monarchs, including the power to appoint or depose kings. Each Ogboni lodge is led by 6 elders known as the Iwarefe, who act as advisors to local rulers and embody the society's gerontocratic values. Membership is typically reserved for the elite, the wealthy, influential individuals committed to community service and spiritual discipline. Ogboni rituals and symbols are shrouded in secrecy. One of the most iconic emblems is the Edan Ogboni, a pair of brass figures, male and female, joined by a chain, representing balance and unity. These are worn by initiates and signify their allegiance and spiritual authority. Despite modernization, Ogboni lodges remain active, especially in traditional Yoruba areas. Their influence persists in cultural and political spheres, though their activities are often misunderstood or sensationalized. While some accounts allege occult practices, scholarly perspectives emphasize their role in preserving Yoruba heritage, law, and moral order. And the word occult actually just means secret. In essence, the Ogboni Society is a complex blend of spirituality, governance, and tradition, an enduring institution that continues to shape Yoruba identity and community life. So that's pretty good, if you ask me, to describe the Ogboni, and that was about 200-300 words. I'm going to ask the same response of our next one, Osirika. Osirika, not Osirika, Osirika. And I'm going to push this over here in the background, and we'll come to that in just a second. The Osirika is a black Egyptian Masonic order that existed in ancient Egypt. Osirika Brotherhood is the root of all the Mason societies, dating back around 2300 before the Common Era. And many believe this group's village at present-day Deir el Medina was the original location where Freemasonry began. The village was originally named Ta Set Ma'at. Archaeological evidence found that the group was extremely advanced in education for its time and headed the construction of the Valley of the Kings. The Ogboni Society, I read that already. The Osirika is a term used in Afrocentric and in Afrocentric corners culture, and popular accounts to describe a purported ancient Egyptian Masonic or esoteric lodge or order said to have followed the cult of Asar and transmitted specialized crafts, religious knowledge, and initiatory practices. Now, I did say the cult of Asar, but the society is Osirica. So it's the cult of Osiris, but you know we change those things in real time. But I do want to mention the name Osirica is derived from Osiris, and transmitted specialized crafts, ritual knowledge, and initiatory practices. Advocates connect the Osirica to the community of craftsmen and artisans who lived at Deir el Medina, Ta Set Ma'at, the village of tomb builders for the Valley of the Kings, suggesting that its residents developed advanced cultural vocational schooling, ritual lore, and a coded cultural tradition that later inspired Greek and modern Masonic symbolism. In these narratives, the name Osirica is sometimes treated as a Hellenized form, meaning a Greek form of an Egyptian or Kemetic phrase, meaning followers of Osiris. And again, that's followers of Asar from our Afrocentric point of view, and as a cultural ancestor to later lodge-based fraternities. And here we're going to go a little bit deeper. Bear with me. I have to copy, cut, and paste this from my research document, which is Microsoft's Copilot. I'm going to paste that into my document, which I have over here now. We got up through where we at? We are over here. There we go. Modern mentions of the Osirica appear mainly in Afrocentric historiography and secondary web summaries rather than mainstream Egyptological literature. The term entered English discourse notably through the mid-20th century Afrocentric works such as George G.M. James' Stolen Legacy, and it has since been repeated on various encyclopedic and community sites. And that George G.M. James Stolen Legacy is very, very important book. If you have not read the book, what are you waiting on? I have 4 or 5 copies around. If anybody looking for an extra copy, I have 3 brand new copies that have really never been opened. I got them in a trade with someone else. And it has since been repeated on various encyclopedic and community sites that blend historical detail with interpretive claims about cultural transmission and racial heritage. Mainstream scholars generally treat the stronger claims that the Osirica were a formal Masonic order of the direct source of classical Masonry with skepticism because the documentary and archaeological evidence is limited and interpretations often rest on contested readings of fragmentary material and later historiography, So yeah, bear with me. As a result, the Osirica occupies a contested space between myth, cultural memory, and historiographic debate. For many readers, the story functions as a powerful symbol of ancient African technical, spiritual, and organizational achievement. For historians, it is a prompt to re-examine sources around Deir el Medina, craft inclusion, and how modern movements reconstruct the past to serve contemporary identities. And that's a pretty good conversation. I'm going to go next into the Freemasons, but I want to just take everybody on a little trip and let's look at this thing about Osirica. There are 2 articles that I have pulled up. The first one is simply entitled Osirica. It's from academic dictionaries and encyclopedias. And let me share what I have found. I'm going to share this with you on, if you are on our Rumble page, there is the link for our YouTube family. Here is the link. And one more time, I'm going to put this up on my Facebook page because I'm pretty sure this is a topic I'm going to want to come back to again in the near future. You tell me, is this interesting to you? If you find this to be fascinating, interesting, Africa's 9 most mysterious societies, you got to let me know. Drop a like or hit the like button. Drop a short note. You got to let me know. Talk to me, people. Please, please, please. I'm begging you. Talk to me. I can't stand it. It's hard. It's really hard day in, day out. I pour my heart into these conversations that I share with you on LIB Radio. Because I truly do believe that this LIB Radio is a service to the people. But you know what is so frustrating? That the people appear to not necessarily get excited about it. So when I ask you, I plead with you, please, please share, please respond. And nobody responds, you got to understand it hurts. We're going to continue to do the best we can. If you don't find this to be interesting, you just let me know. Say, Kitty, and we'll go forward from there. The Osirica. I just want to take a little bit deeper into this topic of the Osirica. This is what it says. The Osirica is reportedly black Egyptian Masonic order. It is mentioned in some Afrocentric discussions of ancient Egyptian history. The theory of its existence is based on the archaeological evidence of an Egyptian village near Deir el-Medina. There it has been discovered that the inhabitants were developing their education in a very progressive manner. From there, they became the principal architects and builders of the tombs of the Valley of the Kings. The word Osirica may likely have been the Hellenization of the ancient Egyptian word Asaru, which it translates followers of Osiris. The word is used in many French and Italian references to ancient Egyptian culture and history, but is very rarely is found in English. And bear with me, because this is very important information. I'm going to copy, cut, and paste this one in my research and build this up. So, continuing. The word was first used in English by George Granville Mona James' book, Stolen Legacy, in 1954. George G.M. James is a controversial Afrocentrist whose work and motives have been hotly criticized by the mainstream Egyptology and especially Eurocentric-oriented scholars. And George G.M. James did die a mysterious death. Maybe we'll bring that up as well. Lately, the Osirica are championed by Afrocentric scholars and students as the original ancient lodge of the Masonic order, Freemasonry, and the foundation of most modern Masonry orders. Thus, for many leading scholars, the Osirica are the originators of all Masonry orders in the world. This claim that the classical period Greek Masonic orders gained their knowledge from Egyptian sources may be based on legends originating from an ancient Egyptian village at present-day Deir el-Medina, Egypt. This village was originally named Ta Set Ma'at, the place of truth, and was founded in the New Kingdom in the early 16th century, before the Common Era, by the 17th dynasty Pharaoh Amenhotep I. There, the craftsmen and women were the builders of the tombs of the Valley of the Kings. There, they used masonry and craftsmanship that they taught in a vocational manner, much like current-day technical schools. The word Osirika could also be a mistranslation of the word ostraka, which were pottery fragments found at Deir el Medina. Now that is pretty interesting if you ask me. Boy, I would love to be invited to join one of these secret societies, African secret societies. It's out there. Next, Freemasons, a fraternal society that emerged in the Western culture, between the 16th and 17th century. Freemasons were originally an ancient Egyptian fraternity of builders, with Imhotep as their founder and chief sculptor. Imhotep was a revered personality, as he was believed to be with superpowers of healing and influencing people and affairs of the community. The Freemasonry's affiliation to the Imhotep is clearly evident, and this is probably why they are accused of several conspiracy theories, since their objective is geared toward the restructuring and controlling of global affairs. Now that was an interesting description, and sometimes AI comes up with some real fluky stuff. But I think our description of the Osirika, which was originally called, not the Osirika, was originally called the Osaru. No, I want to get that exact name. Where was it? Asaru. I had it up. Asar. One sec. Let me see if I can find. Not there. Where is it? Which originally called the Asaru, and it was at Ta Set Ma'at. And if I can't find it, I'll have to look for it. What was Osirika? Another name for the Osirika from Osar, and another name for the Osirika from Osar was included. I can't find it. I just read it, and there's no need for me to spend too much time staring at the screen right now. I will find it again, because it's very, very critical that we have African names for these African spiritual movements and spiritual systems. Very important. We're next up to the Leopard Society. And we did talk about the Leopard Society a little bit when we talked about the Akabwa. Leopard Society is over here. Leopard Society. The Leopard Society was allegedly a cannibalistic society in the early to mid 20th century in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Cote d'Ivoire. Group members would disguise themselves as leopards, wearing leopard skins, carrying claw-like weapons, and attacking their prey. They believed feasting on a human strengthened their bonds. Leopard society refers to several distinct secret or ritual brotherhoods found in West and Central Africa from the 18th century to the early 20th century. Members were often called leopard men. And in different regions, the groups had varied functions ranging from the regulation and trade and community policing to political resistance and violent enforcement of norms. The origins of the Leopard Society. One second here. This is all good information. I'm going to copy, cut, and paste this one as permanent record. Here we go. The origins of the Leopard Society and geographical spread. Don't do that. Close and bold. There we go. These societies appeared across Sierra Leone, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gabon, and the Eastern Congo Basin, with local forms developing independently but sharing leopard symbolism. In the Cross River and the Forest Belt, the institution known as Ekpe, which means leopard, had deep social and judicial roles, while in the Congo, the Anyoto or Anioto used leopard imagery in clandestine violence against rivals and colonial authorities. The organization and roles. Membership was typically male and elite based. Titles and initiation conveyed political clout and access to communal resources. In some areas, the societies functioned as community police or courts, enforcing decisions, adjudicating disputes, and protecting trade routes and conferring social status through title systems and ritual performance. Looking at the particular practices and accounts, contested accounts, colonial and missionary reports emphasize dramatic practices, leopard masked raids, claw-like weapons, staged animal tracks, and alleged cannibalistic feasts. Now, stop. That sentence began with colonial and missionary reports. You tell me. Sister 4, Africa 1, Sister Ra, let me get your name right, bear with me. Sister Basu Nefert Ra Sesha. You tell me, how much credibility do we give to a sentence that begins with colonial and missionary reports emphasize, and they end up accusing us of being like them, including murder, death, weaponry, war making, terrorism, including cannibalism. Should we believe them, or should we reverse that, put the mirror right back on them and saying, no, I don't believe you? In fact, when I do look at those particular set of rituals and acts, they sound more like you than it does us. It is not ma'at. I will continue. Let me reread that. Colonial and missionary reports. Missionary, a priest in Africa, giving you a report on African cultural practices? Yeah, right. Colonial and missionary reports emphasize dramatic practices, leopard skin masked raids, claw-like weapons, staged animal tracks, and alleged cannibalistic feasts. Modern scholarship warns these accounts, warns, not warms. Modern scholarship warns These accounts are often sensationalized. They did come from colonial missionary reports, conflating different groups and overlooking social, economic, and political context with motivated actions interpreted as criminal or occult. I rest my case. Let's talk about the legacy of these leopard societies. Colonial repression, legal prosecution, and state consolidation dismantled many leopard societies by the 1930s. Yet their masks, rituals, and symbols survive in museum collections, literature, and diaspora traditions. And they continue to shape debates about representation, resistance, and African political cultures. That was well done. Next is the Neegee Society, Neegee. The Neegee, or Crocodile Society, is considered evil by the Poro and Sande groups. The Neegee is reportedly a cannibalistic group that feeds on human flesh to satisfy their god and to gain power from that god. The group believes that when they eat human flesh, they gain the ability to transform into a crocodile. The Neegee, also known as the Crocodile Society, is considered an evil and cannibalistic group by Poro and Sande. I'm repeating that. In West Africa, the society is believed to consume human flesh to satisfy and gain strength from their god, with members claiming that by eating human flesh grants them the ability to transform into crocodiles. This belief in transformation is central to their practices and is likened to werewolf-like metamorphosis. And I can actually delete that first part of that description as it did repeat. The Neegee are also known for ritualistic murder, often staging killings to resemble crocodile attacks. Specific body parts of victims are removed and consumed for their purported power-enhancing properties, with the distribution determined by the members' rank within the society. A key element of the ritual involves feeding the fetish god, typically a carved wood or waxen image, some of the victims' blood and fat, a practice overseen by the Zoe, or priest of the society. Zoe, I think it's pronounced. Z-O-E is, I think, Zoe. The group is often also referred to as the Water Leopard Society, with Neegee being the Bassa word for crocodile. They are publicly condemned by the Poro and Sande groups, although some speculate that such condemnation may be superficial, given the broader context of secret societies practicing human sacrifice for spiritual power. I'm going to skip over a doomsday cult that came up and during the research. And the doomsday cult, I'm going to skip over it, but just real briefly, why am I skipping over it? Because the first thing it said, where is it? Doomsday cult is a sinister transnational cult that has paved its way from the West and Asian world into some African societies, into Uganda and South Africa. And again, the doomsday is an externally based group that got into Africa. Its cult members are usually violent and self-destructive to the point of committing suicide. To me, that sounds like the Christians, missionaries. So I'm skipping the South African doomsday cult. And I did already talk about the Abaquá, an Afro-Cuban secret society related to the Ekpe. So guess what? We have finished our research here for today, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Since I do see two people with comments. So maybe will speak a little longer because I was about to wrap it up because I said it seems like I was the only one interested in today's topic. But For Africa One writes, yes, Brother Keedy, it is fascinating. Appreciate love your research and presentation. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me coming from you, beloved. Shabaka is in the house. You know I love you in the house, Brother Shabaka. Greetings, Baba and the LB family. Always eager to learn something new. And that's what we have for you today. Something new, tried and true. Here on LB Radio, we did mention the book, The Pale Fox, which goes into much deeper into the practices, cultural practices, and cosmology of the Dogon. But the Dogon, we know now, are protected by their secret society, and that is the Awa. Let me get that right over here. The Awa, A-W-A, secret society. The Awa is one of the most influential and enigmatic of the Dogon's multiple secret societies. And their purpose is primarily for conducting these rituals related to death and the afterlife. And that is very, very serious information. And one of their primary purposes is to keep secret from outsiders, even from non-initiated Dogon, the secrecy, the society, and its mystique and authority. And that's very important. So which of these secret societies do you want to belong to? And For Africa One writes again, zero credibility, zero, Z-E-R-O, credibility to missionaries and colonizers. Enough said. Our sister authority is registered in, and I agree. I give no credibility whatsoever to the outsiders describing what we did in Africa. Just look at Freemasonry. How much of Freemasonry is built on, stolen from the ancient African order. I'm reminded of the revelations in the book. This, not the Secret Teachings, that's another book. The book is by Manly Palmer Hall. And I can't remember the name of the book right now. Manly Palmer Hall book. It's an excellent book. It's a very large book. Amazon. Let me see if I can find it. Not here. Let's go here. The book is entitled Manly Palmer Hall. And the book is The Secret Teachings of All Ages. The encyclopedic outline of Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbol philosophy. And this is a part of a series of books from Manly Palmer Hall. And let me see if I can pull up this whole series, because the one that I have is a very rare copy, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and mine is huge. It's a very large copy. I mean, this book is huge. And I might just bring it out tomorrow, or I could bring out my book, which is called High Crimes of Murder. I think it's called High Crimes of Murder. And share with you the first chapter. No, it's called Conspiracies and Secret Societies. And give you just the first chapter of my book, which is a breakdown from Manly Palmer Hall's book. And it's really very, very telling. And you could really just commit to this lineage of research, and you could stay on it for years. I have been following this track of research for many, many years. In fact, since I've been broadcasting here on LAB Radio, you've heard us do 100 or more different reports that relate to these secret societies of Africa. So today I went deeper into it. I hope you did appreciate what we did today. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I have a lot of stuff still on the table I didn't do, but I'm a little tired. And I am on the third day of my autumn equinox detox fast. That's not why I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired because I stayed up too late last night. And I did weigh myself today. And I have to say this much. I'm going to put a limit on the amount of weight that I lose this time. Normally, when I begin my fast, I'm weighing about at least 153 pounds, sometimes as much as 156. So therefore, losing 13, 14 pounds in the first 5 days of a fast is not only not difficult to do. I've lost up to 8 pounds in 5 days, up to 13 pounds in 8 days. But the problem is that my fast began at a weight 143 point, I think it's 1.43.5, and today I weighed 1.140, not 1.3, 143.5 pounds, and today I weighed in at 140.3, which is right at the limit of where I plan to allow my weight to get below. I don't want to get below that, even though my muscle mass compared to my fat is quite different. So today I weighed in at exactly 140.2. And that's a body mass index of 21, 140.2. Now, I am not going to let it get below 140. So when next time I'm doing another, today is my first full day. Well, actually yesterday. No, today is my first full day of water only. I've been doing very strict intermittent fasting for the last couple of days or so, but my schedule has been kind of erratic, partly because I love to eat and I've been preparing these elaborate meals for a client, and the meals be hollering at me from inside the refrigerator. Yesterday I made hummus, and so last night I ate some hummus, but only after not eating for over 24 hours. So that today begins another day of water fast. Actually began last night. And so then until either late tonight or tomorrow morning, it'll be tomorrow morning, I'm not going to eat. And then tomorrow morning, it probably will weigh 139 point something. And at that point, I will eat food and keep my weight under 142 for the duration of this 21-day detoxification fast. Hey, listen, does everybody know how easy it is to lose weight and to maintain that weight? I've been giving you the secrets almost every day. Either you do or you don't. So for anybody out there when you look in the mirror, when you take off your clothes, look at your body, it's your body, and you say, this is not pleasant. This is unfavorable to me, especially if you consider what you look like when you were 25 years old. Today, my body is 20 years old again. 20 years old. I'm doing my push-ups while I'm fasting. Yesterday I did one set, 225. Set 2, 225. And set 3, 125. You total all those up, it's 575. Now that was what I did yesterday. Today I have to add another 25 push-ups to that and take it up to 100 push-ups I do every day in 3 sets. I may, if I can, do 2 sets of 250 and 1 set of 100. That's even better. At age 70 years old. I just turned 70 a week ago. You can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust me to give advice on the things that I know real well. And today I learned a lot and I taught a lot about these 9 African-based secret societies. I thank you for entrusting me. I'm very grateful that you do extend your trust to your brother. Text me if you want more information about what to do about your health. And I want to say, I don't say enough thanks and greetings to our You Now collective, but I see you in the house. Arnold Rez, Alter Ego, Texas Bandito, who's a big fan. He's always inviting a lot of people to join us. Thank you, Texas Bandito. Paul Turkstew is in the house. We are gaining a bigger audience. And I thank you all. Thank you all for being loyal to our libradio.com family. So thank you. I'm really grateful to you. You've been tuned into your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. My name is Kedia Wadu, a.k.a. The Conscious Rasta, and this is what we do when we get together with you to do our best to make sure that you are the most informed, inspired, and excited Pan-Africans, and whoever else is listening. We know you're with our team, and we do appreciate you being in the house. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you today and every day on your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginblack.com. Peace and prosperity, y'all.